the Toyota U.S. Nationals. I wanted to speak with you because I think you have a very interesting position here, because it's been, we were just going over before Maddi came on. Like I wrote down for everybody. I went back. You can't see it. Every winner back to 2016 in every category. Just kind of see the flow, right? Like see the flow of the names. Something I think is interesting that Caps, Antron, and Matt Smith are each going for 3 in a row in the Mission Foods series, right? Like that's go for 3 Indies in a row. That's pretty crazy. All together, and just like the flow. But Alcohol Funny Car has been a 2-team show back to 2018, like 18, 19, Bellamere and the Killer Bees, 20, 21, your dad, the Gordon family, right? And then 22, 23, Bellamere once again. And the championship battle has been pretty much the same, just you two teams swapping back and forth. And so here you go, Maddi, get in there. And now you got to fight it out at the U.S. Nationals against this amazing team, the Killer Bees, with your family team. Just, how does that hit you when you think about like stepping into the arena like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's big, it's been a lot of pressure, coming in after my dad, obviously, who won 3 world championships. So there's just that natural pressure there. And then Indy just adds that a lot of pressure because everybody wants to win Indy. But just a couple months back, my first win ever came at the Indy Cletus and Cards event. So that was like kind of insane to say that like my first win came at Indy, but like it wasn't like the big go, but like it was still Indy. So that's really cool. So I'm really, really stoked to be able to go back to that racetrack and have a win under my belt there. So I'm really stoked about that. But just I'm pretty nervous. I want to do good and I want to be able to, obviously I would love to win Indy. But just this field's going to be stout. Everyone's going to be on their game. Every car, even if we don't get a full field, every single car is capable of qualifying number 1 and winning the race. So the quality of cars is just absolutely insane in Alcohol Funny Car. And anybody's just lucky to make it out of first round. We got beat round 1 to Reinhart, which was unfortunate. But I'm really working on, while we have this kind of off time, working on getting my mind right and just kind of getting into the groove at Indy, because that's its own race, and I'm really I'm nervous but excited.
That's exciting to hear you say that. You mentioned the Lucas Oil Nationals and Brainerd, and I think I said that a couple of times. Like there's only a few cars, but every one of them is great. And so number 1, hey, out there in the universe of Alcohol Funny Car people, come on, get in this thing. Let's 1,
rock, come on.
Like, and number 2, oh my goodness, to be successful, like the points battle in Alcohol Funny Car, you and the same team, the Killer Bees, are slugging it out. Now Bob McCosh has thrown himself up and in, and I don't know, it's not over yet for certain.
No, it's not over. The Killer Bees, they're hard. They're just they're not unstoppable, but they're like practically unstoppable. They're just an absolute dream team over there. They've got guys hired from every state, not every state, but practically every state. They just handpicked the perfect team, and just to be able to go toe to toe with them is honestly just it's really cool that we were able to go toe to toe with them as a family. I just get really excited to roll up next to Sean and get out of the car and have my suit on, and Sean has his suit on, and it's just like, wow, I just raced against you. Are you kidding me? But I could never have thought my first year would be going this well, and I'm really happy with the progress that we have made and that I have made in the driver's seat, and I look forward to the more things I can learn. But I'm really happy with where we are right now.
I think that's reasonable. I think it's reasonable. You've had a very good season so far, given the circumstance. It's a very challenging machine to drive. The competition is incredible. You've got this world championship caliber car, and you're doing well with it. But I would like to hear, and you mentioned like right before we came on the air as we were talking, some of the things that you are also in the process of working on. And I find that to be interesting, especially for the young drivers out there who are coming up in their categories. How are you managing this situation? And what are the things you feel like you've done well? And what are the things that you want to do better?
Yeah. And I have no problem talking about the things that I've done wrong or that I'm working on, because I really like when other drivers say that too, because I'm like, oh wait, like they work on things too, like they're not perfect. Are you kidding me? But I am by no means am perfect by any means. I have a lot of things to work on. I feel like at this stage in my driving career in the Top Alcohol Funny Car, I feel happy with the way that I'm able to drive the car down the racetrack. I hit my shifts decently well. We've had to adjust the shift like compared to what my dad had, but I feel happy with how I'm shifting it, how I'm driving the car down the track. Some things I definitely am working on are pedaling. It is so hard. My dad, Bob McCaw, Sean Bellemere, Matt Gill, Shane Westfield, they make it look so easy, but it is so hard. So I'm working on that. The other thing I'm working on right now is kind of keeping my mind right. There's just, like I mentioned, there's just so much going on. When you drive that car down the racetrack, it looks, like you just go straight, but you have so much going on that it's hard to just kind of click your mind off and focus on the tree or whatever you're trying to focus on. So right now I'm working on kind of being able to just clear my head and just race the race car and just cut a light, rev it up to the right RPM, and not have too much going on. So currently that's like my biggest challenge at the moment, is just keeping my mind right and being able to focus and not get distracted. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now.
That's great. No, that's great insight right there. And perfect for every driver in every category, be able to be, react. But I would love to hear you go a little more deeper on the pedaling deal, because I'm sure a lot of people think like, what's, I've taken my foot off the gas pedal and then put it back on the gas pedal and it just goes up and down and it's not that hard. But for you, and I think I know what you're about to say, and it probably has something to do with the supercharger sucking in all that air. But why is it so hard?
So, the car is just moving obviously extremely fast and everything happens really fast. But the most challenging part is the shifting. So we shift approximately in the second gear about 330 feet, and into high gear about 660 feet. And within that time is when you would need to be pedaling it, if you're going to be pedaling it. You should be pedaling it like way before 330 if you're going to do that. But the way that the Alcohol Funny Car, like the way it revs up, when it revs up into, when you're about to shift it into second gear, that rev up is super fast. So, the RPMs are revving up really fast. So when you go to hit that second gear shift, you got to hit it like right on time or you're going to be way late. So with that being said, when you're trying to pedal it at the beginning of the racetrack, the RPMs are just like skyrocketing super fast. So if you pedal it, if you lift off the gas pedal, get back on it, and then by the time you realize, okay, we're going again, you need to be shifting it. Well, your brain, at least my brain, is, I haven't had enough runs in the car yet to just be, my brain it's behind, to say the least, when I'm trying to pedal it. So, the car shakes and you get out of sorts, and then you go, okay, let off the gas. Okay, hit the gas again. Okay, going back straight. Okay, now you need to shift it. Okay, oh wait, am I in the middle of the racetrack? There's just so much to think about. And that's been the biggest challenge. I have, made a big mistake in Charlotte, my first time trying to pedal it. I got out of the groove, had to lift off the gas, straighten back up, hit the gas again, and as soon as I hit the gas, the shift light was on. By the time my brain comprehended what that yellow light means in front of my face, as soon as I hit the button to shift it, it was too late, and it created a lot of damage. So that was an unfortunate learning experience, but it's just so much going on that I just have a lot to learn when it comes to that.
Well, I love that explanation. That was very force-esque, right? Like all the different things going on
Yeah.
in the cockpit of a race car, and then you got to manage them. And that's why we love Alcohol Funny Car. That's why Alcohol Funny Car is appreciated by the diehards and the hardcore fan, because the driver is presented with what you just described, an incredible challenge. The wheels are in the air. You're going the wrong direction. Like, that is awesome hearing you say that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like when you get the front end up high and you're going fast, front end's up, and you're like, oh my God, set down. Okay, it sets down. Okay, go back, go this way, go that way. You're hoping the front end just stays down long enough so you can steer back to where you want to go. And it's just an animal. It's the best thing. I love it.
Yeah.